Back with us is Chuck Rosenberg. Chuck, were you struck by anything that the mayor said during his comments?
Well, several things, Jose. First and foremost, his lawyers cannot possibly want him out there talking to the press, commenting on the evidence, explaining what he knows and what he doesn't know, taking responsibility for, being the main point of contact for all city agencies. You know who else is listening to his press conference, Jose? The prosecutors. And anything that Mr. Adams says publicly, anything he talks about, all of that could be used as evidence against him if there's ever a trial in this matter. So terrible idea for him to be doing that. Second, and Lisa Rubin alluded to this earlier, and I think she's right, there are almost always cooperators in this case. I don't know exactly who they are, and I don't know exactly what they said. That will be, that story will be told in the months to come. But a case like this is not built solely on documents, although documents will have an important role. Text messages and emails and cell phone data and financial transactions are always important to prosecutors. The witnesses are the ones who put the meat on the bones. And so you will have cooperators and you will have people who are able to flesh out the details of these transactions. And third, let me just mention one other thing, Jose. The Southern District of New York U.S. Attorney's Office, and I say this lovingly and somewhat enviously, is the best in the country. They don't charge a sitting mayor unless they got him. The indictment itself would have been fly-specced by numerous people in that office and by agents in the FBI New York's field office. There's no way a word makes its way into that indictment. There's no way an allegation makes its way into that indictment unless the U.S. attorney is confident that he can prove it in a court of law. And so while Mr. Adams is certainly presumed guilty, and while he is entitled to put the government to its test at trial, this indictment is not just serious, but it's extraordinarily well and carefully constructed.
And as we await, we're told about a minute and a half, that news conference from SDNY and what they will be bringing us, a number of details. I want to bring back Frank Figliuzzi, former FBI Assistant Director for Counterintelligence and an MSNBC National Security Analyst. Frank, when Chuck talks about the construction of these processes, these, in this case, this 57-page indictment, what kind of construction does that mean? What does that mean?
So, look, both Chuck and Lisa have raised the specter of cooperators, and it's been long established within the corridors of the FBI that you make a successful public corruption case with two things, one or both of two things, cooperators and or wiretaps. So a paper trail is great. Phone records are great. The mayor was at this restaurant with this guy at this time, all great and necessary. But until you have cooperators who are in the room and or a wiretap and or an undercover agent, and again, we don't have any inkling that all those were present here, but it's highly likely that at least cooperators are involved. That's how you make a case. A couple of things jump out at me. First, people may be reading this indictment and saying, gosh, some of this activity occurred before the mayor was elected mayor. Is that possible to charge? Absolutely. I've seen cases like that. You can promise something. You can get knowingly paid to do something once you win. So that's there for sure. The other thing is the charges of soliciting the bribe, right? So it's really tough these days because the courts in the last 10 years have made it really harder to prosecute bribery cases against public officials. And in fact, the number of public corruption cases has dropped in the FBI and DOJ because of even a Supreme Court decision that said, hey, if you get a thank you gratuity after you do something, we don't want to criminalize that. So now, when you see these charges brought, it's not just receiving a thank you gratuity, it's soliciting that bribe. So the accusation is that the mayor solicited this for the purpose of carrying out an official act. That's gravely serious and will undermine any of his defense that I was a passive recipient of a bribe. And this business of foreign money into a campaign, again, it would not be charged unless they can show that the mayor knew that money was coming from a foreign country.